also going to do it in your Biomed to OnShape document we created earlier in the year. So you're going to come over and create a new part studio. You're going to name that part studio task 4. And this task is going to greatly help you when you actually start modeling your LOC on OnShape, so that's why we're doing it. So you're going to go ahead and make a new sketch on the top plane. We're going to name this layer 2. We're going to end up making a well connected to a channel. So we want it on the top plane. And that's all happening in our second layer of our LOC. I'm going to grab my corner rectangle starting at the origin and sweep out. I want it to be 2 inches by 3 inches. And then we're going to go ahead and extrude this. And you should extrude it to 0.11 because that's the thickness of our layers for our LOC. I'm going to name that layer 2. Hit the green check. Okay, so now we have our second layer. So now let's start making our well. So we're going to make a new sketch on top of the layer we just created. I'm going to name this well 1. You should always number things. You're going to have multiple wells, multiple channels, so make sure you number them or label them accordingly. My well is going to be a circle. Yours doesn't have to be a circle, but mine is. So I'm going to make a circle, and that circle is going to be 0.25 inches in diameter. I'm going to use my dimension tool. And I want this circle to be placed 1 inch from the side and 1 inch from the bottom of my layer. So that's good to go. I'm going to hit the green check and go back to isometric view. I then need to extrude remove this circle slightly just to create my well. I don't want it going all the way through. Since the thickness of our layer is only 0.11, I'm going to extrude remove this to 0.5. I'll name this well 1 again. Green check. Okay, so now we have our well. In order to create our channel, we need to sweep remove like we did in task 3. So in order to do that, we're going to need a path sketch and a profile sketch. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and make my path sketch first. So I'm going to make a sketch, and the same thing, it's going to be on top of layer 2. I'm going to name this channel path. And my channel is just going to be a straight line just to keep things simple. Starting at the center of my well and working out. Let's make that 1 inch as well. Okay, so now that we have our path, we need to create our profile. We can't create the profile on the side of our layer 2 because we don't want our channel to start until the edge of this well, so we actually need to create a new plane. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plane tool. The plane point, I want my plane to intersect this end point of my channel path that we just drew. We also need to select the front plane because it needs that as a reference. So you see that. So I selected the vertex of my channel path, so that little orange point there. And then I also selected the front plane to use that as a reference to bump my new plane off of. And I'm just going to keep this as plane 1. Hit the green check. I'm going to hide my other planes just so I don't get confused. I know what I'm supposed to be clicking. I know what I'm supposed to be drawing on. And you see that plane intersects layer 2. I'm then going to make a new sketch on that plane. And that's going to be called channel profile. I am going to use a circle tool, and I'm going to reference that point that we've been talking about. And I'm going to make this a radius of diameter of 0.1. I don't want it going all the way through my layer, but I want it to, cut through the layer at some point. I'm not going to be sweeping a circle. I need to be sweeping a semicircle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this circle in half. I'm going to trim the top of the circle, and I'm good to go. Now you see there's like a dashed line because it's that circle, that semicircle was drawn inside of something. So then I'm going to grab my sweep tool. The faces and sketch regions I want to sweep, that is your sweep profile, your channel profile. So I'm going to come over to my features list and I'm going to choose the channel profile. The sweep path is going to be the line. I'm not adding, I'm removing, hitting the green check, and then you have your well into a channel.